Are you looking for better shooting experience? How about a facility where you can shoot all of your firearms in the same day, where you can move and shoot steel, draw from the holster, and practice your rifle work out to 600 yards? Shoot a very challenging sporting clays course or a round of trap or skeet. You can do all that and much more at the Aurora Sportsman's Club. Hi, I'm David Lombardo, president of the Aurora Sportsman's Club. If you love the outdoors, you'll want to know all about Northern Illinois' largest outdoor shooting facility, the Aurora Sportsman's Club. If you're a novice looking for a basic course, an experienced shooter looking for an advanced course, or perhaps you want to participate in your favorite shooting event, or just spend an enjoyable day with a family, the Aurora Sportsman's Club is the only shooting facility in the region that offers all that and more. Interested? Then you won't want to miss the next orientation and tour of the Aurora Sportsman's Club. Call, email, or visit our website today to find out how you can become part of a better shooting experience at the Aurora Sportsman's Club in Waterman, Illinois.
He is the human Molotov cocktail that they can legally throw into the system that stole their lives from them.
So we're going to create a new government that serves you, your family, and your country.
It's time for On Target Radio, Chicagoland's only radio show dedicated to the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. Now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues, here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Welcome to On Target Radio. Tonight, David's rant of the week is, I no longer talk to myself. And David and Gretchen will be talking about new ways the government is spying on all of us. Then, they will be looking at Trump's support of the Second Amendment with a number of recent legislative actions in support of the right to keep and bear arms. But not everyone is on board with the idea. One judge claims to be pro-Second Amendment, except for that nasty word, bear. And guess who's funded Pakistani Muslim spying? David and Gretchen will drop that bombshell tonight. All of that and more on tonight's On Target Radio. So give us a call at 815-205-1584. That's 815-205-1584. Or go to Facebook, like our page On Target Radio, and ask a question or make a comment there.
Today's Rant of the Week and more of David's work can be found at bearingarms.com. And now, from the seething cauldron of personal opinion, it's David's Rant of the Week.
For as long as I can remember, I have talked to myself. Well, that's not exactly true, but it's what others thought I was doing. In point of fact, I specifically talked to the various golden retrievers that have shared my life. Those who are sticklers for reality think that's talking to myself, but those of us who love our pets know different. So, other than that handful of people who are psychologically wound too tight, few people have taken issue with my talking to dogs. Admittedly, some small subset of that group have grown somewhat cool to the fact that I still talk to my dogs even though they've shed this mortal coil many years ago. But for the most part, my talking to my dogs, whether they're physically or metaphysically present, isn't really a major issue. I think where we part company is when I talk back for my dogs, but I find their words of wisdom comforting, particularly now that they're part of the great cosmic muffin and can see all and know all. They often speak to me out of the blue, quite literally, in an effort to protect me. Rocky, my beloved hunting dog and BFF, will make suggestions from time to time, such as, "Go ahead, enjoy it. How much harm can a third bowl of ice cream do at your age?" Megan, who is my watchdog and Rocky's mate, continues to be a bit more specific than Rocky. "You're fat. Forget the ice cream. Make another trip to the gym." Rocky was pure golden retriever, a party animal from the get-go. I think Megan had a touch of German Shepherd mixed in with golden retriever. In any event, I've always been comfortable wandering around the privacy of my home talking to my Goldens. I mean, it isn't as if I'm talking to them on the phone, a known party line to the NSA. Which brings me to the point. Recently, WikiLeaks dumped yet another 2,000 pages of documents onto the internet, and this time they were even more ominous. It turns out the CIA may be listening to me, not through my phone, but through my television set. According to released documents, a CIA program named Weeping Angel probably the most honestly yclept covert operation in history, provided the agency's hackers with access to Samsung smart TVs. What it does is allow a television built-in voice control microphone to be remotely enabled while keeping the appearance that the TV itself was switched off. It's called fake off mode. Wow, that's two honest names in a row. I'm thinking somebody at the CIA doesn't get the concept of disinformation and covert operations. Although the display is turned off and the LED indicator lights are suppressed, the hardware inside the television continues to operate and listens to everything going on inside the house. The project was co-developed with British intelligence. The Brits, it turns out, have made a name for themselves for more than frizzy hair, bad teeth, and the world's worst breakfast food. They're now officially voyeurs, and it doesn't end with the television set. It turns out they can hack into anything with a smart chip. You know, that microwave that listens to your corn popping and shuts off the power automatically at the appropriate time? Guess what makes that happen? A smart chip. In fact, look around your house and see just how many things you own with a smart chip. It's fertile ground for covert spying in your own home, all in the name of national security. The latest wrinkle in personal privacy, the result of the so-called Internet of Things, is increasingly adding to a long list of consumer products that interface with the Internet to operate. As an increasing number of must-have intelligent time-saving devices find their way into more rooms in your home, it will bring the CIA along with them. When that happens, the CIA will not only know what you're saying, but what room you're in at any given moment and be able to predict where you're going to be in the short term. I consulted with Rocky and Megan on the issue. Rocky suggested they're just trying to keep you safe. What could possibly go wrong with that? Megan, on the other hand, said, shut up. And you're still fat. Go to the gym. And that, Gretchen, is my rant for the week.
Well, not surprisingly, I agree with Megan. But yeah, so I mentioned to you a few days ago that I thought we should talk about, we should circle back around and revisit the topic of the NSA and the CIA and probably the FBI spying on every single one of us, potentially.
Every government agency.
And because, and the reason that I brought this up, I would like to call this segment Leave Kellyanne Conway Alone. Because she is my new favorite person, in point of fact. And she gave an interview several days ago that, and one of the things she said is that your microwave could be turned into a camera. And everybody laughed at her.
They pillared her.
Right. They you know, they taunt her like she's the biggest moron ever hired by morons.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, you know, we've been hearing about the Samsung TVs for years.
Yeah.
Now WikiLeaks is coming out with, you know, telling us about Weeping Angel, which is the specific program that they used to actually turn the smart TVs into listening devices for their use. They kind of admitted by not admitting that they could turn your Amazon Echo, your Alexa device, into a listening device, that they could access that. And now what's surprising about that? That's what the thing is designed to do, is listen. So, you know, and you know, they can turn on our phones, the microphone, the camera on our phones. You know, so I would like to just put it out there to the universe. Leave Kellyanne Conway alone. She's not a moron.
Well, you know, we talked about the Samsung thing when it very, very first started.
It was years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
it was at least 2 years ago.
At the beginning, and a lot of people thought we were crazy about it, but it's now look, here it is. It's been there.
Well, I don't think it's crazy at all, and to the point where my father was like early adopter of an HD TV, and you know, which was a smart TV, and he found out that you can't really ever turn that off, and so he was going to take a drill, and he was just going to stick a drill bit in there and get rid of that microphone.
And your dad is a man of few words.
He is a man of few words, but even those few words he wants not to be recorded.
There was a 2012 Wired, it's a magazine, article entitled "CIA Chief Will Spy on You Through Your Dishwasher." And, you know, people thought, you know, this is silly. It's not, you know, what are you talking about? But anything that has a smart chip,
right.
You know, Eric and I were talking earlier about
and it was
how much stuff accesses the internet.
Right. That article was an interview with David Petraeus.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's not a dumb guy. But yeah, I mean, they call it the Internet of Things. It's all the stuff that is internet enabled, internet internet connectivity that is not, necessarily controlled by people. And, I was telling you how in the National Association of Counties that Will County's a part of, they send us this county news publication every couple of weeks. And there was an article in there about how some county did a pilot program, and they some senior citizens could voluntarily be part of this pilot program, and they would put cameras and listening devices basically all over their apartments. And the idea is that if you fall or if you have a medical episode, if they don't hear anything from you within a certain number of hours, they'll send someone to come check on you. And you can see where some seniors might be like, oh, that's a great idea. I don't have to wear one of those necklaces, the whole fallen and I can't get up thing. You don't have to be conscious, for it to work. And so you can see why people might want to sign up for it voluntarily. But I'm like, hello, Big Brother is watching you.
I don't think so.
I actually said that. I said that we should read an excerpt from 1984 right on the show.
Tell her how you test, what's it called?
Yeah, so with Alexa, if you walk into a house, you can just say, Alexa, order 2 tons of creamed corn. And then just say, Alexa, confirm purchase. Anybody that has Alexa, it's listening to you all the time. And it's just become insane, the amount of things that are connected to the internet, thermostats, refrigerators.
Right.
You can, everything.
Yeah, I mean, the smart refrigerators, that I was telling him before the show that I think those are particularly crazy because you have an app on your phone and you're at the grocery store and you go, do I have enough milk? And so you turn on the app and you can actually see inside of your refrigerator, so you can check the status of your milk. But hello, camera in your fridge, the NSA is not going to use that.
All right, we're going to have to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about one more thing about the CIA, and then we're going to get on to Second Amendment. And this president is really doing it in spades. So all that and more when we return with On Target Radio.
For over 100 years, the Illinois State Rifle Association has supported the rights and freedoms of Illinois citizens to keep and bear arms. For over 100 years, the ISRA has supported the use of firearms as a sport for personal protection and as a fundamental aspect of national defense. For over 100 years, the Illinois State Rifle Association has been supporting you. Don't you think it's time you supported them? ISRA.org or 815-635-3198. The Illinois State Rifle Association, supporting you.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. The On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook, and lunch are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invite you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
Do you dread writing? Is it challenging to find just the right words to get your point across? Do you put off developing marketing materials because you just don't know where to start? You get one chance to make a first impression, and my editor, Creative Business Services, can help make it a strong, positive one. Hi, this is Gretchen Fritz, co-host of On Target Radio, and I'd like to tell you about My Editor, a business I started to help you overcome those concerns. What you're experiencing is very common. My Editor has helped business owners, candidates for political office, and even authors and public speakers. At My Editor Creative Business Services, we can simply edit your existing work or help you develop an entire writing plan of action from initial project design through final copy. We are easy to work with and will help you get your point across in the most effective manner. If words escape you, send me an email at myeditor@mail.com. Use My Editor Creative Business Services and go to print with confidence. That's myeditor@mail.com or find us on Facebook.
You're listening to On Target Radio with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
This segment is brought to you by the Will County Grassroots Division of the Illinois State Rifle Association. Join like-minded friends supporting the right to keep and bear arms in Illinois at 7 p.m. on the third Wednesday of the month at the Silver Dollar Restaurant in Elwood, Illinois.
Give us a call, 815-205-1584. Do you have a microwave that will turn it off when your popcorn starts popping while it listens to what you have to say?
I do not.
That was sort of a rhetorical question.
Oh, sorry.
But that's fine. But here's the other interesting thing.
You were looking at me, so I thought you wanted an actual answer.
Okay. No, that's good. The other interesting thing, interesting is kind of a bad choice of words. The CIA has figured out how to hack cars and trucks. Have you seen this? Well, of course you have, because I gave it to you.
I did, yeah.
But
right before the show.
Kind of a stupid question, wasn't it? But what they do is they use the phone's geolocation software, and they can tap. Now, this, of course, is more modern vehicles that have internet system and all of that. That's how they get access. But they can get access to your vehicle control system. I actually saw a video of them demonstrating this, probably about 6 months ago, I think. There was a car driving along, and there was somebody actually driving the car. They didn't kill him, but there was somebody driving the car, and they took over the car remotely and ran it into, they didn't run it off the road, but just to prove it, they ran it into the soft shoulder. And I thought, that's not good.
No. That's
not good.
Freaking scary.
Yeah.
It also says that infected phones can be instructed to send audio and text communications as well as covertly activate the phone's camera and microphone.
That's and of course this is all for the children, right?
I'm not even sure they care enough to use that excuse.
Have we gotten rid of that one? It's for national security. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the whole. It's for your best interest.
My best interest. Yeah. And of course, no president would ever consider misusing anything like that.
No,
not at all. No. But it is scary that they can do this. They have the capability now of I don't know, what would you call it? Hacking a car, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
And here's the thing to really be worried about. This is in its infancy. They're still playing with this stuff. Them and the Brits are still futzing around trying to figure out what mayhem they can cause. Imagine what this will be like in like 10 years.
I can't.
Orwell never, in his wildest imagination, ever came up with these ideas.
My personal opinion to the audience is if you've never read 1984, do yourself a favor, read 1984. And, if you've read it a long time ago, maybe you want to read it again because, it's coming true.
I think we've passed it, actually.
It's possible.
We got to the 1984 and we've gone beyond.
Right. Yeah. I do think that, they were saying that, they would have to plug something in to be able to listen to what you were doing. And now it's not even that. Oh, we have a call.
We have a call. Don't have a name. Hi, good evening. How you doing?
Good evening, Dave and Gretchen. It's Jeff from Berwyn.
Hi, Jeff from Berwyn.
The two topics I brought up, this smart appliance thing.
Yeah.
You can't disable them. There's a YouTube video like with a Samsung. You just take the plate off the back and disconnect the Wi-Fi connection. So it's not that hard. The car thing, though, I don't know about. I'm trying to get through to Kim Commando when she's on live to ask her about that on Saturdays, but I because there was some suspicious death. The suspicious death of Michael Hastings, the investigative journalist, about 2 years ago, and then other people. So there is a way to counter that. It's just going to take time, and people have to have the will to do it.
Well, but the thing about that is the average person, I suspect, is oblivious to this. They won't even know it exists.
Yes, I agree. And so, well, that's their prerogative, I guess you could say. And I don't have a TV. I got rid of my TV, 7 years ago, so I'm not worried about the smart TV.
I wondered why we stopped hearing from you.
Well, I'm watching you on YouTube right now, so may I ask, is that the only venue right now? Is YouTube?
And Facebook.
And Facebook.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't do Facebook either. Social media, I think it's just my cup of tea.
Somebody in class said, probably a year ago now, but somebody in class said, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to get a concealed carry permit because then the government would know that I have a gun. And I said, guess what?
They already
They
know.
already know, yeah.
They already. Oh, right. I mean, yeah, that's. Anyway, you were going to move on to the Second Amendment, and I wanted to ask you and Gretchen what your opinion is of. I read a story about during the week that this senator from New York, Gillibrand or something, she's the one that replaced Hillary.
Yep.
She is going to try and block the Hearing Protection Act of 2017
because they don't understand.
No, they don't. I mean, and just the quote she had, they quoted her as saying like, she's totally ignorant.
Yeah.
First of all, they keep calling them silencers, and they're not silencers; they're suppressors.
She watches movies.
Yeah, right. And I was just wondering if you wanted to if you can kind of expand on that, what you think, if she has any chance of doing it. Because, I mean, we have Donald Trump Jr., he's all for this bill.
You know,
because he's a hunter.
Todd Vandermeide is the Illinois rep for the NRA, legislative rep, and he belongs to our club. He's a friend of mine, and he's very much invested in this. The great irony of this is, if you go to Europe, which is predominantly anti-gun, if you go to Europe and hunt, you are required by law to have a noise suppressor. They won't let you hunt without one. Only in Illinois could they take the most logical piece of information and subvert it into something that makes no sense whatsoever. And this woman in, I forget, where is she from? I can't remember. Somewhere on the East Coast.
New York.
New York.
Yeah, Kristen Gillibrand or something.
She clearly has absolutely no concept of what she's talking about. She literally does not understand what it is. I don't think it'll pass because you got a Republican Senate, you got a Republican House, you got a Republican President. I don't see that it's going to happen.
Yeah, it won't go anywhere.
That's famous last words, isn't it?
And then I also was under the impression that the federal law would override all the state laws as far as like suppressors. But I don't know. The last one I read, the Hearing Protection Act of 2015, so they might have had to modify it because there's a push now in the Illinois legislature to legalize, make it easier or make it lawful to own them. So I don't know how that's going, but
it's
anyway. I just thought I'd bring up that topic.
Yeah, it has its ups and downs. I was just talking to Todd about it the other day. It has its ups and downs. It's the problem is the Democrats, for the most part, don't actually ever study these kinds of issues. They just have talking points, and they just spew out the talking points. I was having a conversation with somebody online who's basically anti-gun, and I finally said, you're entitled to your own opinion. You're not entitled to your own facts, something I've said many times. I said, if you'd quit with the talking points that they feed you, I said, I can give you reasons why, if I were anti-gun, I could give you reasons that would be cogent arguments as to why you might want to say you can't own guns. I don't agree with them, but, they're fact-based. I said, but you're just throwing out these talking points. You don't know what you're talking about, and that's exactly what's going on there.
But emotion-based. It's their emotional reaction. It's just they don't think them through. They're not based in reality or logic. They're emotional reaction. They're reactionaries. That's why I tell people, don't call these, they're not liberals, okay? That's a misnomer. They are illiberals.
Actually,
and they are the real fascists. Okay?
It's actually interesting you say that. Conservatives are really liberal. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, if you think about it.
Classic liberal.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially those of us who are really far right. I mean, I lean libertarian on a lot of things.
Right.
And so in that way,
we basically believe as long as you're not hurting anybody, go do what you're going to go and do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which that is liberal.
Yes. I call myself a conservatarian.
That's interesting.
That's an original thought. I read it from somebody. Both the best parts of being a conservative and a libertarian. But there are some hardcore people call themselves hardcore conservatives that I wouldn't have anything to do with. They're just as totalitarian in some ways that the Democrats are, and so I call myself a conservatarian.
I think
like a Pat Buchanan.
I think except for the stance on military, I would probably be more libertarian, but I don't agree with their let's put walls up and
isolationism.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
Thank you for taking my call.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you for calling.
Keep us abreast on this Hearing Protection Act, because I really hope it passes. I really do. I think
we're going to give it a shot.
A watershed event. Hopefully
intended.
it'll be a watershed event. I really do believe that.
All right.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We need a rim shot, Eric.
A rim shot, yeah. Give us a call, 815-205-1584. Weigh in on it. Obama, you remember this is the guy that got elected who wasn't going to do anything and he was a joke. I think he's running out of ink. It's like every day he signs something new. Now, these come from the legislature, but they certainly would not have come from the legislature under Barack Obama.
No.
One of the things that he promised early on, and in fact has made good on his promise, the legislature has put forth a bill repealing that Obamacare Social Security thing, where if you're on Social Security and you had somebody who was your representative payee who would help you, they assumed that you were mentally incompetent and you couldn't own a firearm. That's going out the window.
Now, luckily, that never actually took effect.
No.
But Congress now
has unaffected
passed a ban, and
Right.
they're not going to be doing that.
Yeah, it was slated to come into effect,
Yeah,
but
the end of
it's
the
not
year.
going to make it. Yeah,
Right.
it's not going to make it.
Right.
So that one's gone. But the other one that that I was really happy to see is the U.S. House has passed a bill. Veterans, it's sort of the same sort of thing.
The exact same thing, yeah.
Right. It's the same sort of thing under VA instead of under Social Security. And, you know, I just want to say something. Now, the subject of veterans comes up. I read these things about how bad the VA is. You know, I'm sure you've seen them.
Oh,
you
sure.
know, I waited 100 hours. They hate me. They're alive. I've been over here twice now to our VA, right? They're the nicest people in the world. They treat me like gold.
Well, I think it's probably the difference between the big hospitals and the smaller facility, which is where you're going. And also the problem with what was happening in the big facilities was that people needed operations or they needed treatments, and they were waiting like years, you know, months or years to get those treatments, and then they were getting worse and dying. And,
I'm going to
that sort of
Hines
thing.
this week.
Right.
We'll find out.
So I'm glad you're not having that experience.
Yeah. But the people here in Joliet at the VA Center are gold. I told you that doctor's like, he doesn't have a problem spending
He's
government
like,
money.
yeah, ordering
Yeah.
millions of dollars of tests. And I said, you're welcome.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I just appreciate your paying for that.
I think Eric should say it too.
Hey, it's my body. I have a right to, I want to have a baby. All right, we're going to be back with more On Target Radio after this. After this, I can hear John Cleese in the background. You don't have a womb. We'll be back with more On Target Radio after a few messages.
Hi, I'm David Lombardo, co-host of On Target Radio, and I'd like to offer you a partnership opportunity. For over 4 years, On Target Radio covered the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech on AM 560 The Answer. But a 1-minute commercial was $200, making it tough to find enough sponsors. So last November, we left AM 560 and began podcasting. There's a learning curve to podcasting, and we've worked through the kinks and would now like to make you an offer. You can have a 60-second audio or video commercial for as little as $25 a week. We can also offer fellow conservatives their own radio or video podcast for as little as $100 a week, with equipment and technical personnel included. You provide the content and host, plus get 6 free minutes of commercial time you can sell yourself. If you'd like to be an On Target Radio sponsor or explore the possibility of having your own show, call me at 815-741-3474, and let's explore the possibilities together.
For over 100 years, the Illinois State Rifle Association has supported the rights and freedoms of Illinois citizens to keep and bear arms. For over 100 years, the ISRA has supported the use of firearms as a sport for personal protection and as a fundamental aspect of national defense. For over 100 years, the Illinois State Rifle Association has been supporting you. Don't you think it's time you supported them? ISRA.org or 815-635-3198. The Illinois State Rifle Association, supporting you.
You're listening to On Target Radio with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life.
So I just find that it's interesting that, all these people kept saying, Trump is a paper tiger, he's a blowhard, he's not going to do anything. I mean, he just keeps signing stuff. and everything they say, all the insults, it just rolls off his back like water off a duck.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem like anything bothers him. And conservatives are going wild. They're just going insane. His ratings keep climbing and climbing. And if you read stuff on Facebook and the internet, he's the worst president in history of mankind. I don't think so. You know what? I keep remembering when Obama, speaking to the camera, holding a cell phone, was reading a text from Trump before he was elected. And it said something about Obama is the worst president in history. Did you see this?
No.
And he's reading it. The president's reading it. He says Obama's the worst president in history. And he looks into the camera and he goes, at least I'll still be a president, and throws the cell phone down. That smug look on his face, like you're never going to be a president.
Patented, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a priceless moment. That's almost as good as the one with Rachel Maddow.
There's like a 6-minute video of like all the liberals
exactly
saying that Trump will never be president before the election.
George Clooney is one of my favorites.
Whenever I'm having a bad day, just fire that up.
George Clooney is my favorite on that.
Yes.
That smug,
there was like there's some television journalists and stuff. They were like literally laughing.
Yeah. You don't believe. I know you don't believe
never
that.
Going to be the president.
I know you don't believe that. Yeah.
Oh, and Hillary and was Pelosi, I think, was on there. Pelosi was on there.
Donald.
She was
Donald
on
Trump.
Yeah, she was on Meet the Press.
It's never ever
Yeah.
just Donald Trump is never going to be president. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. She's like, mark my words.
It was
in that way that she has. Choppy hands make Botox.
And when what's her name? The little blonde that's a bombshell, just really outspoken.
Oh, Tommy Lauren?
No, but that's another one. But this one's a little older.
She got herself in trouble, actually.
Did she? For what?
Oh, you're talking about Mika Brzezinski?
No. What did Tommy Lauren get?
Oh, she went on The View.
Yeah, she did? They let her on The View?
Yeah. And so she goes on there and she says that she's pro-choice. And
really?
all the Republicans' heads explode. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And I guess what I read like 2 different articles basically said the same thing. Her contract is up in September, and they're like, she may not even last until September.
I don't know. She's pretty popular.
Because she's on that Blaze network. She's on the
Yeah. No, I'm
network.
talking about. I can't think of her name. She's
blonde, bombshell, older.
Yeah, she's.
Can you narrow it down? Like, where does she work?
Out of New York. She's a pundit. And
Ann Coulter.
Ann Coulter. So she was on part of that reel.
It took me a while to get there.
Yeah,
but...
it's just sounds like rhymes with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, narrow it down for me.
She was on that show with. My brain is not working tonight. I'm coming down with something.
Yeah, you really.
I really am. It's like I couldn't do Megan's voice properly. That just upset me. But she was on the show with Bill Maher.
Okay.
It's on that clip. And, of course, everybody on there is liberal except Ann Coulter. Sure. They always have, like, one token conservative to pick on, beat up.
Sure.
And they always pick the wrong one, the ones who won't take beating up.
You're not going to have Ann Coulter on and then beat her up.
No,
I mean,
that's not going to happen.
She's gonna mess you up like a boxing nun doll.
So Maher asks her, of all of the candidates, who has the best chance of winning the presidency? She goes, declared candidates? And he goes, yeah. She goes, Donald Trump.
She's like, right now today, Donald Trump.
And the whole place breaks up.
They're falling out of their chairs laughing.
I love that reel.
Never gets old, I'm telling you.
Anyway, so Trump, the guy that is a joke, has been signing stuff left and right. They said he's not really Second Amendment. It's going to blow up in your face. Are you kidding me? This guy has been a wonder boy.
I keep thinking back to that argument I had with the guy on Facebook, and I said, I wasn't a Trump supporter. I I said I'm only cautiously optimistic because I didn't know what to
remember
expect.
we had discussions on this.
And this guy goes, oh, he's not really the one you want to wait and see. How's your Russian? And I was like, yeah, he's not the guy that got caught on an open mic saying I'll have more flexibility after the election. Right. Okay, so
yeah, exactly.
Suck on it.
Anyway, not everybody agrees with him. There's a Judge Walter H. Rice, who is
Price. I think it's.
What did I say?
You said Rice, and it's Price.
It's Price.
Actually,
yes,
there's a couple of typos in this article.
I just noticed that.
It says Rice and Price.
It does.
I think it's Price.
I think I'm going to get by that, though. I'm going to let that go.
You know what? I'm going to Google it right now. You keep talking, and I'm going to Google it.
Oh, sure. I got to carry the weight. So he says he supports the Second Amendment. He's a believer in the Second Amendment. Well, except for that bear part, the keeping bear arms. He thinks the Second Amendment is absolutely fine, except the fact that it doesn't or shouldn't allow concealed carry because putting guns in the hands of mentally incompetent people is a recipe for disaster. The guy's 80 years old. It's time.
Yeah.
And with the sweep of judges. And that's another
I was
thing.
wrong. It's Rice. It's not Price.
That's what I said. So the other thing that was interesting is how they excoriated the Trump administration from firing a bunch of judges, as if it's never happened.
No, not judges. U.S. attorneys.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. U.S. attorneys. Right.
Which is totally common practice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
well, they didn't fire. Most of them were not fired. Most of them, they said, we expect your resignation by such and such a day.
They were fired.
Which is kind of the same thing.
If they hadn't gotten that letter, they would have still been in their job.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. But they should have expected. I mean, they should have known it was coming.
I think the individuals did. I think it's the press that's making a big deal out of it.
Right.
Yeah, and of course the DNC. Well, it uproots. It's back to this. He's upending the very pillars of democracy.
Whatever.
Of course, those pillars aren't there when the Democrats do the exact same thing.
Right.
Yeah. It's commie SOBs. And can I say SOB? Oh, I can say anything I want.
Of course you can.
Right.
We're on YouTube.
That's it. YouTube. YouTube is the one that keeps locking us out.
There was.
Don't they? Well, over the
when you
said
we can say anything we want, and I said yeah, we're on YouTube, and then of course a curse word pops into my head.
You have potty mouth. You know that? One of the things that people loved most when we were on AM 560 is listening to you during the
commercials,
breaks.
right? Because that's when it all.
They would go. I had somebody go.
That's when you
Did
get
she
to
really say that?
Cut loose.
I go, yeah, we don't tape somebody else's voice and play it.
And,
of course
and
said that.
Usually I'm the only woman in the room, so yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That was me.
The woman has potty mouth. Well, and shamelessly, I don't know if you know this, Eric, but shamelessly, she tosses candy to students in class if they get the right answer.
I've heard that.
It's like she's training seals or something. You go in there and go,
I'm encouraging participation. I don't know what's so wrong with that. You see, you just you're so full of hot air. You're such a blowhard. You just go on and on and on. You don't even give them breaks every hour. And you don't care if they're even listening, if they're participating, if they're paying attention, if you don't even care. See, I want them to feel included. I want them to participate.
What you don't understand is I tell them that I don't think I should be regulating their lives. That if you want to get up and go out and get a cup of coffee or something, just do it. You can just stand up and go and get. Why?
Well, I
don't herd them like cattle. I don't go. You have to leave it exactly the same. But I have to go to the John. Tough, hold it. No, I don't do that.
Too bad, Nancy.
Exactly. I go. Just if you got a bad bladder, just stand up. We'll laugh a little bit, and it'll be fine.
Well, I always tell them. I'm always like, okay, do the math. We have 2 bathrooms and however many students plus teachers, and there's so many people, and and I always say, when I give you a break, I have to use the bathroom. So
I don't give them a break until I'm at the back of the room,
out of my way.
Yeah,
right? Exactly.
Yeah. It's
but yeah, I tell them to go whenever they need to go. But I do encourage participation.
I do say one thing, and that is, if you feel like getting up and stretching, getting a cup of coffee, that's fine. If everybody gets up and leaves and comes back at 5 o'clock on Sunday, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? there's an issue going on here, but
that's generally not a problem. It does not happen, is what I mean.
I don't know how we got from Judge Rice to people going to the bathroom.
You just needed to, taunt me for a while. You needed to take a break to taunt me.
That's a vent, and I had to fill up dead air.
So we got a comment on Facebook. Raymond says, the war on drugs has created more problems for our liberty than junkies on drugs ever could. All we ever really needed were armed citizens and churches.
I'm not exactly sure where that's going. Do we shoot people who have drugs?
Oh, because I think we were talking about libertarian. People being libertarians for conservatives.
Because I've always said, and this is a departure with some of my conservative friends, but I've always said, marijuana, come on, give me a break. Making it a crime is, in my opinion, stupid.
Yeah, but I don't think it should be criminal. But I don't like the idea of people driving under the influence of it.
It's like alcohol. I mean, I don't think you should drive under an influence of it. But to arrest someone for possession of marijuana, and the argument is it's a gateway drug. Well, of course it's a gateway drug. It's being sold by a guy who's trying to put you on something heavier that he'll make more to you at.
Right, and it's easy to get.
It is. I've
grow it in your backyard.
I've never thought. And when push comes to shove, 001351. We got 2 calls. You can take your choice. We got a guy on marijuana that needs to be busted. We got a guy on crack cocaine over here. Which one do you want?
I'll take
let
the
me
pot
think.
call.
I'll do the pot guy. Dude, you're under arrest. Oh, bummer, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, low man on the totem pole gets cocaine guy.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Send the newbie out. The one who doesn't mind getting the snot beat out of him.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's when we come back, we're going to take a break here pretty quick. And we're going to talk about something that we have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, hopefully I can read this during the break.
I'll have to be quiet.
Yes.
That's scary.
Yes.
Me being quiet is sort of like somebody waiting in the weeds.
Well, you just said, I mean, you admitted in the first segment that you talk to yourself, a.k.a. I talk to my dogs.
See, you're one of those people who hold a strict reality theory. You talk to your cats.
I do talk to my cats.
So don't give me that.
I do talk to my cats, but they're alive.
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Come on. It is not either.
Sometimes they're just laying on their back with their tongue hanging out. They look like roadkill. All right, we're going to be back with more on Target Radio, talking about cats and dogs and who knows what, and a Muslim spy ring. How they all weave together, you will find out shortly when we return with more on Target Radio.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. The On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook, and lunch are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invites you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
In need of a ride to O'Hare or Midway Airport? Well, look no further. The Yellow Checker Cab Company is the cab company for you. With the Yellow Checker Cab Company, you will always be greeted by a friendly face and arrive safely and on time for your flight. Start your trip off right by taking advantage of one of their limos, shuttle vans, cabs, or courtesy cars. And airport trips are not all they specialize in. This 24-hour cab service will pick you up anytime, any day, for any occasion. From bachelorette parties to school dances to just a night out with friends. Yellow Checker Cab Company has the best rates in town. So sit back, relax, and leave the driving to the professionals. Once you experience their fast and affordable cab service, you'll be a customer for life. When it comes to cab companies, be sure to choose Yellow Checker Cab because you have the right to expect certain things from your cab company. For further information or to book your trip today, call 815-744-2900. That's 815-744-2900.
You're listening to On Target Radio with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. Stand by. Here's Gretchen with your action items for the week.
Don't forget, Illinois Gun Owners Lobby Day is Wednesday, April 5th in Springfield. Meet at 11:30 a.m. at the Prairie Capitol Convention Center in downtown Springfield. I put a link to the flyer on Facebook earlier today. The following Safer USA classes are at our facility in Waterman. Saturday and Sunday, April 8th and 9th, Illinois Concealed Carry 1. This 16-hour class will be taught by David and Gretchen and meets the training requirements for Illinois Concealed Carry as well as Florida, Arizona, and Utah. Thursday and Friday, April 13th and 14th, NRA Shotgun Instructor, taught by David. Saturday and Sunday, April 22nd and 23rd, NRA Pistol Instructor, taught by David. Saturday, April 29th, Tactical Pistol 1 and 2, taught by David. To sign up for classes, go to saferusa.com and click on Register.
So we're back.
We're back.
We're back. If you've got something pithy to weigh in on, it's 815-205-1584. You can come and pith with us.
So I have a question. How are you going to teach the shotgun instructor class when you can barely shoot a shotgun?
Well, the beauty of it is that I don't shoot. All I have to do is observe.
Ah.
You know, so it works out.
I see.
And
so you're hoping that people are self-selecting.
These are people who are. It's not technically.
They're self-selecting. They're already good shotgun
Yeah,
shooters.
it's not technically a private class, but it really kind of is. I mean, if somebody signed up, I'd take the money. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, these are people who know what they're doing.
Okay.
I was thinking about taking it, but I don't think I can shoot that well, so we'll see.
Well, and that would be a key issue.
That would be a problem.
Yeah, 13 out of 25 minimum.
Well, not shotgun anyway. I should clarify that.
Well, we you know what? You could shoot it with a pistol.
Well, there you
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll like to see that in front of the board. That wouldn't look very good.
No, I don't think I'd go over. I think that'd be problematic.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but as long as you have an empty chamber flag in it. That's an inside joke, or we're not going to go down that road.
No.
So what do we know about this Pakistani family that is under criminal investigation? Anything at all?
Yeah, so 5 members of this family, they all are IT workers, and they are all under criminal investigation. So they stole classified information. They stored it on a server that they wormed their way into working for Democrats in Washington, high-level Democrats in Washington. and who apparently didn't vet them at all or sufficiently.
It was Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Most likely.
Yeah.
And so they worked in these offices legally, but then they set up an offsite server and they stored congressional data there without the knowledge of the authorities or the congressman. And so then basically they blackmailed them, and they were paid at least $4 million.
Apparently, in its entirety, the whole family's gotten over $5 million.
Yeah, it says at least 4, so between 4 and 5, most likely.
It's working for the DNC.
And it says in some, like, the Imran's wife's offices, she didn't show up or rarely showed up.
So it was a union job. Oh, that could get me in trouble. That could get me in trouble. I was just joking.
Yeah.
Well, not exactly, but
you're going to disappear.
Probably. Well, they're going to have to get in line because the NSA's still parked
I was
outside.
going to say the black SUV with the tinted windows, they were just observing, but the mob and the union, they're not going to mess around.
Well,
they're just,
I don't think the mob. I mean,
they'll just make you disappear.
Ricardo's neighbor. We got along.
They'll just make you disappear.
But what scared me is the other day I made popcorn, and as I was taking out, a voice said it needs more time. I don't know. It's just. I'll worry when a hand comes out.
I was going to say, are you sure that's not just the voice in your head? The dog talking back?
No, it didn't fit any of the voices I have for my dogs.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's how schizophrenia starts.
The good thing about having a split personality is you know each other. You know, you got a friend for life. Yeah.
Actually, I don't think that's true, but
that's probably not
we'll let
true.
you go.
Actually, they don't know it. In point of fact, they really don't know that they're. That's a little.
They're on at different times, I believe.
Yeah. The personality emerges that's appropriate to the situation, which a lot of us fit that, but we call chameleon. We politicians. It's an art form.
I was going to say, I've heard it just called adaptive.
And see, that's the polite
adaptable,
word.
flexible.
That's a polite word for being psychotic. Adaptable, yeah.
Yeah, that's the euphemism for two-faced.
It just it still bothers me about the CIA thing.
Yeah, it bothers me a lot.
First of all, the CIA, by charter, should not be doing anything in the United States.
Right, and they shouldn't be spying on Americans.
And particularly, they shouldn't be spying on Americans.
They should be spying on other people.
Do you remember the big brouhaha when Obama decided that if you were an American but you were fighting for ISIS in the Middle East, he'd grease you? You remember that? Early on in administration.
Oh, because I thought he typically traded terrorists for your release.
There's that too. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no,
I thought usually he would, trade, either cash or known terrorists
when you run out of people,
that we had in captivity to get you back, so he could welcome you back into America with open arms.
And you could then subvert the government. But no, this is. They decided that it was legal, and Eric Holder made a big thing, as I recall. Oh, it's perfectly legal, you can do that. About just because you're an American doesn't change the fact that you are fighting with ISIS against your country, and that makes you a bad guy, and they can zap you with a Predator drone. And there was a big hue and cry about they have rights, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I didn't think it was such a bad idea. But
yeah, I don't really have a problem with it.
but there was a big dust-up over that. And, the CIA, because the CIA is behind that stuff.
Sure.
And now they're listening to me through my refrigerator. I know, I tend to be a little glib about that. But because for one thing, they aren't listening. They haven't got the technology to do that yet. What they do is they get data file dumps, okay, which is what they do with the phone. I think there are people who actually think that there's somebody listening to them on the phone, and that's not the case. But what is the case is that all that stuff is being dumped into files, right? It is out there. It does exist. And that's what this is.
I don't know that that's any better. I think it's worse.
No, I don't think it's any better, but I'm just saying people don't always understand what really is happening. So it's not like somebody's actually sitting there listening to your microwave and hearing you talk. But the more intelligence, we're being sold on this is time-saving, takes labor away from your life. It gives you time to smoke more dope or whatever you want to do.
I'm sure that's
go on Facebook.
I'm sure that's true in many cases.
You know, and I'm beginning to wonder how far back this mentality goes. Let's make labor-saving devices, but we'll plant bugs in them. So, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we've been slowly but surely weaned off of being self-sufficient.
Right.
Very effectively.
Well, I put that meme on Facebook. This is an encouragement for everybody. If you're not on our Facebook page, if you haven't liked the On Target Radio Facebook page, you should, because then you'll see all the cute memes that we post, which I posted one just over a week ago, actually, that it was a picture of the Alexa device, the Amazon Alexa device, and it said back in the 60s, people were freaking out, oh, the government's going to wiretap us, and now we're like, hey, wiretap, can cats eat pancakes?
That's right.
Now we ask the wiretap to help us with our daily lives. So, I think it's true. I mean, we've been lulled into this false sense of security of like, it's going to be fine. Just use the technology.
Exactly.
It's not a problem,
and we've got, I don't know who said this. I read this some time ago, but it's true. Our entire society is based on instant gratification. That everything we do now is there's a Starbucks everywhere. There's a McDonald's everywhere. You drive in, it's right away they hand you whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And the single biggest complaint about people is it's not fast enough.
Right.
We're not. It's just it's crazy, and it worries me that the CIA, they're open about this. I mean, these were leaked. These were leaks. These were leaked. But they have been. They've been fairly open about their things that they're able to do.
Well, I mean, Petraeus did admit it in that article, but I don't know that they're being all that open about it. I think they're being a little bit clandestine. I mean, like with the smart TV thing, that was Samsung.
Samsung came out.
Samsung admitted it, but they said, well, we're doing it for marketing purposes. But, then it's not much of a leap for, the NSA and the FBI and the CIA to come in and use that same listening technology to spy on us.
But you remember at the time when we first covered that story, when Samsung first came out with that statement, you maybe want to be careful what you say.
No, it was even before that. It was before they were even admitting it. It was other people saying, hey, these TVs are listening to us, and they're, your TV's spying on you. And people were, were like, no, that's crazy.
The interesting thing about that is they said, and I made a comment about this, but I didn't really know the implication of it. They said, well, we don't get the information. It's in a file, and it goes to a third party. And they never really said who the third party was. And so this concept that they're doing it for marketing, if they were doing it for marketing, they'd get it. It's their product. They're marketing their product.
No, I thought one of the articles we had, and it was years ago, but it said that they had hired some IT company to take the files, slice it and dice it, and look for things that were applicable to marketing. So, things that are gender-based.
Two words: Air America.
Oh no, I know.
The CIA has all kinds of companies.
Oh, I know. I'm not being naive. I'm just saying this is what the article said. I'm just regurgitating what the article said. That they're going to slice it and dice it to look for things that are appropriate, demographics for marketing, and then we'll sell that to third parties and make money on the back end from it. Now, I 100% agree. Could this IT third party be actually the FBI or the NSA? Yeah, absolutely.
One of the funniest things I recall is there used to be an airline called Evergreen. It was the CIA's airline. That's what it was. But their front was they were an airline. The problem is they got to be so good at what they did, they got too much publicity. Then they had to divest themselves of Evergreen Airline because it wasn't long before everybody knew it was the CIA. I just always thought it was funny that some aspect of the government, the part that they try and keep secret, is the one thing they did right, and it became very public. I don't know. We're going to go away now, but. But I will lay in bed tonight and ponder this and tap out this stupid Morse code thing that's stuck in my head.
The aliens are communicating with
I have no idea what it is. I woke up one night, it's been a while ago, but I woke up one night tapping out a Morse code message. I don't know Morse code. What did we say it was?
BSM.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, we got to go. Thank you for listening, and tell your friends about us.
We'd also like to thank our engineer, Eric Allen, and our sponsors, Yellow Checker of Joliet, my editor, Creative Business Services, the Will County Grassroots Division of the ISRA, the Illinois State Rifle Association, the Aurora Sportsman's Club, and Safer USA.
And listen to us next week. We'll cover more red meat issues that affect your life.